What is going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday morning / afternoon, depending on where you're at. Hope you guys are all doing well on this beautiful October Tuesday. It is my Friday at work, so I'm even more looking forward to it, especially since Vikings-Chargers Thursday night game is around the corner, and I can't wait to go. So very much so looking forward to going to that game on Thursday night. If you're watching the game, look for me in the crowd. Probably won't see me, but still. All right. So the topic at hand that we want to go over today is the Survivor what if moments in the history of the show. We did the Big Brother what if moments yesterday on the live stream. If you guys weren't here, go check out that video at After Show on YouTube. If you want to check it out, give us a sub, give us a follow, give us a like, hit that bell notification so you're notified whenever we go live. Also, twitch.tv/Bobby Goodsby, or you can hit me up on my social media handles that you see at the bottom of the screen. Twitter/X and Instagram at GoodsbyBobby. With that being said, I think there's a lot more Survivor what ifs than there were for Big Brother. I think Survivor has even more. Obviously, we've had more seasons, so that in turn can give you more of an opportunity to come up with a bunch of Survivor what ifs. But I want to get your guys' comments, your guys' thoughts, your feedback on what are the biggest Survivor what if moments in the chat. Get your chats read live here on stream. Come in here, talk with me. Let me know what you guys are thinking. I have a few pulled up right here that I want to go over. Some of the ones are, what if Russell Hantz would have won Samoa? Would we have got him back on Heroes versus Villains? I still think we would have, because he was such a big character, such a big villain, and it's on the heels of Samoa that they would have wanted to have him back. But does that change his game? Because he had one on Samoa. Does he play the exact same way? I think he plays exactly how he does, because obviously, one, it works, and it would have proven that it worked because he won the $1 million prize. But would we have seen a little bit different of a Russell Hantz when it came to Heroes versus Villains? Also, what if Suri doesn't go out at the final three in Micronesia? What if the final three is like how it had been and how it is nowadays, where the final three is the final three contestants and pleading their case to the jury? I mean, if she gets to that final three in Micronesia, she easily wins. Like, it's without a doubt, she's winning that the whole show. She's a millionaire. She's a Survivor legend. But instead, we get Parvati. Is Parvati's legend as big as it is now if she comes in second in Micronesia? I don't know. Do we get Parvati 3.0 after Micronesia? I still think we do, but it is something to dissect and go over. There's a lot of modern era, new era what ifs as well. You could do modern era and new era as two different ones. Like, modern era is more 21 to 40, and new era obviously 41 to present day. Let's get to some of your guys' thoughts in the chat. Hope you guys are all doing well, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys for being here today. Tatsuya says, what if Wu took Cass to the final two? Well, Tony would not be a two-time winner. Like, we know that for a fact, right? So that is one of the biggest what ifs of all time, in my opinion. I'm glad you brought it up early, because I think that's one I feel the absolutely like the strongest about. Where if Cass gets taken to the final two against Wu, which he absolutely should have done, one, we don't look at Tony's game in Cagayan as obviously, chaotic, but worked. We look at it as chaotic and failed at the last second. And then Tony's not asked back for Winners at War unless he somehow wins Game Changers or something. Maybe that changes his fate in Game Changers. We don't know. Maybe he would have been asked back 3 more times since then. We don't know. But let's just say he only plays the ones we know he plays, and he finishes the same exact way, except for Cagayan is now a loss. He gets 3rd place instead of winning the whole show. He doesn't get asked back for Winners at War. And then we see that he doesn't become our second 2-time winner, one of the greatest winners of all time. So it absolutely changes his outcome, his trajectory by one move. And then Wu is also a millionaire. Like, you can come back to that as well. But like the fact that we see Tony like winning twice because of this one move is wild. And I've said it before on stream. I think Tony absolutely should be giving Wu like at least $500,000 because like literally the guy won $3 million based off one move that Wu did. If Wu makes the right decision and takes Cass to the final two, Tony is $3 million not as rich, right? Like, it's wild if you really think about it like that. Juan says, hi, Bobby. Have fun at the game. I work construction and our company took part in constructing it. We did all the suites in the locker rooms. Well, I'll be in one of the suites, so that's pretty awesome, man. I'm excited. Yeah, the chairman at my work gave me me and my wife box seat tickets to their suite that they have for the game because he knew I'm a huge Vikings fan. And they're shuttling us to and from the game. So, and providing free food, drinks, everything. So, like, I don't have to pay for a damn thing. It's awesome. Like, it is one of the best perks from working at the casino that you could possibly ask for. And all just because he likes me. I didn't even ask him for it. He just came up to me one day and say, hey, I put you down for 2 tickets for the suite for the Vikings Chargers game because I know you're a Vikings fan. I was like, thank you. Oh my God. Like, that's amazing. So very excited about that. Can't wait for Thursday. So that's pretty cool. I'll be in one of the suites that you constructed, Juan. You mean what's going on, my friend? The greatest what ifs. What if I was cast on Borneo at the age of -6? Yeah, I mean, then we would have some real problems, right? You probably would have lost. -6, man. Thanks for making me feel old. I mean, I think I was 10 when that show came out, so you're 16 years older or younger than me. But you know what, 20? Something like that. So yeah, very interesting. I have a shirt on, Dave. It's a Coheed and Cambria shirt. How dare you? How dare you? It's a tank top. I live in Southern California. It's still warm enough to wear a tank top. Palaver Girl, what's going on, my friend? I see you always in the comments on YouTube, so thank you so much for joining. Well, hello, long time. Hope you're well, Bobby. I am doing great. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Thank you so much for your continued support. I see you in the comments every time. You're awesome. Appreciate you. Tatsuya, what if Danny Boatwright did not recognize Gary Hogaboom as an NFL player in our National Federation of Landscaper quarterback? I mean, it was kind of shocking that she was able to point out who Gary Hogaboom is. I mean, I don't know. As a huge football fan, I don't know if I would have been able to recognize him right off the bat. Also, Gary Hogaboom was also kind of not my era, too. So, of like starting to watch football. But yeah, like if she doesn't recognize him, I mean, just saying that game could drastically change for sure. But she's like a massive fan, too. Like, didn't she wear like Redskins shirt when she was on 40? Something to that extent. What if Eric doesn't give up immunity necklace? Like, that's the big one, right? I think that regardless, like Eric would have gone out somewhere, you know, in the final 4, final 5, what have you. But the fact that he didn't play it, I mean, obviously, one, he's not looked at it. Excuse me. He's not looked at as like one of the biggest choke jobs in the history of the show. He's not someone that's like got this stigma of making one of the worst moves of all time. And just he doesn't have the epic collapse, right? But we also probably don't see him again on our television screen. So I'm just saying there is that chance that we don't see Eric again if he doesn't make that move. And obviously it didn't work out for Eric the second time around. But like at the same time, it is interesting that had that change, I don't think it changes who wins the game or like at least that there is, you know, that all women's alliance gets a little bit further. They just would have taken him out the next time he doesn't win the idol. So he would have had to win out for him to get there. Oh, I kind of disagree. Party, Boston Rob, and Tony are cooked. Their playbook, in my opinion, is renowned and thus vulnerable. Well, yeah, absolutely. Well, nowadays, obviously, well, we just saw Parvati win, right? We just saw Parvati win Australia View the World. Now, granted, like I said, it's not the same, in my opinion, as a traditional Survivor win. And I know that's a hot take, and I know that people disagree with me. That's fine. But it was a kind of spin-off gimmicky. They got lots of luxuries right off the bat. Like, it just didn't feel the same. It doesn't feel like this. It was fun. It was great. I enjoyed it. She did an amazing job. She was a deserving winner, but it doesn't feel like a second full win to me, right? And you guys can disagree all you want. That's fine. And I know I'm in the minority here on that one. But like, we saw Parvati style, and that still can do well. We even saw her on Dondi do really well with that same playing style, where she just has the fair, the manipulation, but like almost like she uses her sex appeal to manipulate people, and it works every time. It doesn't make sense how it works every time. The only time it didn't work is in 40, when you have all these legends of the game, these former winners, playing together. But in real life, when she goes against newbie cast or people that maybe don't know her as well, she absolutely flourishes in those scenarios. But yeah, like I do agree. Like the Boston Rob, the Tony, like those are their games are always going to be cooked no matter what they do, because everyone knows them. They are two legends of the game. Parvati's a legend too, but hers still works. Her strategy still can get her far, which I don't think Boston Rob and Tony necessarily can anymore. Juan says the BW move on Black Widow move on Eric is still the reason I cannot ride with Parvati and Suri. Brilliant but brutal. It was, but it was one of the greatest moves in Survivor history, was it not? Was it not just absolutely fantastic TV? And like, it gave us one of the biggest moves we've ever seen on the show. Haha, you're going with the customers. No, I'm going with tribal. It's not customers going to this game. It's not like VIP or anything. I think there's only 2 people. I talked to them yesterday. It's a bunch of tribal. I think chairman and them are going to be there too. Put a shirt on. How dare you, Dave? Tatsuya says, what if Survivor was filmed in the US? What are the best location ideas? That's a very interesting one. I never really thought about that. So if they did Survivor in the US to 1, save money, and then 2, just make it easier on production, especially financing, going all the way to a foreign location. Thing is, it is smarter for them to do it. So there's a reason why all these shows film overseas, right? Like you have The Floor films in Ireland, 99 to Beat films in the UK, Survivor films in Fiji, Dondi films, I think, in Panama, and Traders in what is it, Switzerland. There's a reason why they do this, is because of like tax reasons, right? Like the financial reasons. Like it costs them a lot more money if they do these productions in the US. So that's why I don't think, outside of Big Brother, which obviously it's in a lot in Hollywood, that they have to kind of do it there. There's a lot of monetary reasons why they don't film these shows, a lot of these productions, on US soil. And I might be getting the complete reasoning wrong, but I believe it's for tax implications, something financial. I know that. So I don't think they would ever do it in the US, but if they were to do it in the US, I mean, if you did it in a place like, oh man, like Big Sur would be awesome. If you want to get a little more crazy with it, I mean, you could do, I think I'd be terrified of doing like the swamps of like Florida because of like gators and stuff. Like, F that. No, thank you. I'm good. But like, you could do it in like a tropical location. Hell, you could do it in like Hawaii or something, like you could find a cool tropical location that could work. But I feel like you want to keep the beach theme, right? You wouldn't want to do it in like, I don't know, Washington or like New York or Buffalo. Like you wouldn't want to do it in a location where it's not like a tropical theme. Like I feel like you'd have to keep it tropical. And I think like somewhere like Big Sur would be actually a really cool, or like Hawaii would be a cool location if they were to do it. I'm stealing National Federation of Landscapers. Oh my God. OMG FIL. Hey, I just found you. Just subscribe. Thank you so much for your subscription. I appreciate you. Welcome to the channel. Go live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, noon to 2 Pacific. So if you get a chance, definitely come back, join the chat. And OMG, if you want to, put a comment in here. I read all your guys' comments live here on stream. So if you have a hot take, or if you have a Survivor what if, which is the theme today, that you would like to go over, definitely put it in there. But I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the sub. Juan says, what if Hatch doesn't cross the beam naked and doesn't come across Sue? The problem is this was going to happen regardless, right? At some point, he was going to get too close in contact with somebody, right? And the fact that production didn't get in the way and be like, hey, this is a close quarters competition. We need you to put clothes on. It would never fly nowadays. Like, right? Like nowadays, they would never allow that to happen. And it does suck that that situation happened because I think that it was just such an easy thing to prevent. And like, we get it. You're the naked guy. Like we knew that from season 1. Like, I know you're trying to continue that thing, but like, come on. Like especially in competitions like that. Absolutely not. I think that obviously, I think Sue possibly stays in the game. Richard stays around, but yeah, it was too much. Wow. I am awesome. 2-month streak. LOL. Oh my God. Eric was the worst move in history. I mean, I don't know if I would say it was worst move in history. I do think like you can make an argument for like James going out with 2 idols in his pocket. You can make a case for, Wu taking Tony. It was similar to Cody taking Derek in the final 2 of Big Brother. Like, there are a lot of situations you can point at. It was a very bad one, and obviously the show made light of it by making it the worst move in history and then changed it to other things. But like, yeah, it was bad. It was bad all the way around. It's the reason I rock with them. I like it. Sorry, fixing my shirt because Dave, doesn't like tank tops. Then I'm in the minority too, then Bobby, because AU versus the world is not the same category. Thank you for agreeing with me, because majority of people in here do not agree with me that AU versus the world is not Survivor proper, right? Like, at the end of the day, guys, do we really think that AU versus the world is Survivor proper? It's not. It was fun. It was kind of gimmicky. It was kind of cool. It was a cool concept, cool theme. But they gave the players like all these luxury items right off the bat in the first few minutes. On Survivor US modern era, they don't even get rice till like like halfway through the game, and that's if they win it or whatever. Like they're actually starving. They have nothing to go off of. The other thing too, I didn't like that it was the gender imbalance kind of was frustrating. It's like, why can't you just add one more dude to each tribe and make it equal genders? Like, there was a lot of factors. It was smaller cast, less amount of days. And the days thing necessarily doesn't completely bother me, because obviously Survivor New Era is less days compared to US Survivor proper, the old school Survivor. But I still look at it in a different light, right? Like, it's like the new era of Survivor. It doesn't bother me as much that it's 26 days opposed to 39 days. I still feel like we get enough content. I just hate that they starve these people where they don't even give them the opportunity to have rice or fire. It's like, I don't need to see these people scatterbrained at tribal council. Like, we see it in Survivor 49 this season, where they're all saying they have fog brain and they can't even answer a question that Jeff asked them because they're so starved for food, especially when you have a disaster tribe and they're really not eating. They're literally eating worms, and that's their only option. Like, yeah, I have a problem with that. I'm like, I don't need that. I want more entertaining TV. Plus, then it helps prevent a possible downfall of these tribes when it comes to disaster tribes, where you give them a little bit of food, like a little bit of rice, like one portion a day is fine. Like, at least they have something. Like, I don't need the brain fog. And I really do think it really drastically affects these disaster tribes that then aren't allowed to. They have such brain fog because they're not eating at all, unlike these other tribes that at least have fire and can make like snails or crab or what have you. Like, it frustrates me. I'm like, we don't need that. What if Wu didn't pick Tony? Is Tony an all-time great? I mean, we mentioned this earlier. And what's going on, Robert? Happy to have you here. We mentioned it earlier in the stream. Yeah, like, I think that Tony is not an all-time great. Tony is not a 2-time winner. Tony is $3 million short in his bank account right now. Like there's a lot of factors. That timeline is wild. It is because men are weak, lol. Well, that's true. We are weak. We are weak, especially when you have beautiful women trying to convince you otherwise. Like we are stupid. Men are stupid. Parvati won't work on me, but I would totally fall for Savannah. You know, facts. Facts. I don't know. Like the thing is, if you go against Parvati, it's hard, right? Because we could say right now, right, that if you wouldn't be seduced by Parvati's charm, right? But then at the end of the day, it is like it's Parvati. Like it's she's got such a stigma around her. She's got this essence that flows of like you're like, oh, she's one of the greats. So that kind of encaptures you, right? And I need Brandy Boo here to try to get the words out that I'm trying to say. But it basically it captivates you. It makes you realize that like, oh, she's a great, and then she's flirty and fun and all this stuff. So I can see how it works. I understand how it works. But personally, I'd be like, I feel like I could see through that. But at the same time, is she doing it so well to others that now she's got complete control of the game and you shouldn't go against her? Because if you do, you don't have the numbers to back it up because she does have that seduction prowess. Like it's a very interesting topic, especially since like we've seen it happen so many times and it's worked so many times. I would rather go with guess. Excellent question. Best U.S. locations: Mojave Desert, Montana in the winter, a la Naked and Afraid, or Alone. Switch it up. I don't know if I want to see Montana in the winter. Obviously, with the way that they give them rations and stuff, it wouldn't be possible, especially in those extreme conditions. I don't need to see like a winter edition of Survivor. Like for me, Survivor is always that tropical show, right? It's like it's a beach themed, like tropical island. Like I understand like why you would say like Mojave Desert or Montana. And we have seen them do like, you know, obviously Africa, you know, the Amazon, stuff like that. But like I still feel like new era Survivor, especially, but even then, like Borneo, Fiji, obviously, Panama, it all has that tropical island feel. And so I feel like that location is always best for what Survivor tries, because they are very much so like a tribal type of show. Like they want to give off that effect of this is a very cool location that's also tropical. That's how it feels for me, at least. Do it in Minnesota in the winter, everyone would die. Everyone would die. Tatsuya, Parvati does it for me. Her eyes melt me. I would be a boss around by her and end up going home bland. I'll be happy. See, like, and that's the thing. Like, her charm really works for people. And I don't know if it would necessarily work on me because I'd want to be there to win and not play someone else's game or get them further. But she's such a dangerous player on top of that, that like sometimes the seduction factor just is so strong. And the fact that she's such a dominant player when she does have control, that it would be so hard to beat. We got 15 people in here on the live stream. Guys, get your comments read live here on stream. Hit that like button. It takes 1 second to do. Just hit the like button and it helps us out a lot. And also give us a sub if you can. Really appreciate you guys. All right. So welcome. You found a fun community. Thank you so much. Yeah, absolutely. Hope you guys all enjoy the community here. What if Kelly Wigglesworth won Borneo? Honestly, if Wigglesworth wins Borneo, I don't know if we have Survivor 49. I don't know if we have Survivor 50, because Richard Hatch was just such a dominant presence and such a dominant winner, and really created what we know now as reality TV social strategy, that if Kelly Wigglesworth won, I just don't know if it would be the same. I don't even know if we would have the show still. And maybe you guys disagree. But it's such an interesting topic, because do fans be like, oh, that's not who we wanted to win? Or, and I know that Richard Hatch was the villain of the season in a lot of people's eyes, but he was like a villain that you're like, oh yeah, like he definitely deserves it. Where if Wigglesworth would have won, would we be saying the same thing? Would we be like, oh, she definitely deserved the win. I don't think so. I don't think so. She made moves. She gamed it exactly as she should. We, if we didn't have her making the moves she did, we wouldn't have had the freaking Sue moment with the snakes and the rats speech. So there's a lot of factors there, and it was such. Imagine if we had a bust season for season 1. If we would have had the Survivor 48 season be season 1 of Survivor with that cast, we definitely would not have Survivor still on our screens. That cast was the perfect cast for that time era, and you can't convince me otherwise. We needed that, and that's the reason why it's had longevity. The greatest player never to win is Keith from Edge of Extinction. Not Keith Nail, is that? Wait, what was Keith from Edge of Extinction? Why am I blanking on this? Let me look it up. Keith Edge, if I can spell right, of Extinction. All right, so let's see here. Oh, that Keith? No shot. Tommy, what's going on? I hope you're doing well, my friend. Good to see you back in the stream. But L-Take, Tommy. That's up there with your Kelly comments. Keith from Edge of Extinction is the best player to never win. Now I know you're trolling. I literally had to think. I was like, is he talking about Keith Nail? Keith Nail wasn't in Edge of Extinction. Who the hell is he talking about? Keith Nail, God rest his soul, one of my all-time favorite players. Like, the guy was just he was just naturally him, and it was so like lovable. It was so lovable and just so like, this dude is just such a good dude. And we obviously lost him way too early. And I wish we had Keith back right now. I saw something like an in memoriam thing for like all the survivors we lost over the years recently on TikTok, and everyone in the comments, even though yes, there was other people there, people were like, oh, I miss Sunday, I miss these people. There was like 80% of people were like, damn, I didn't know about Keith, that sucks. Obviously there was like Rudy and stuff like that too, but it just sucks to see him go so early. Don't blame poor Eric. He missed by Suri. He was misted by Suri. How does she do it? Suri's another one, right? Because it wasn't just Parvati. It wasn't just Parvati who absolutely convinced Eric. Like, it was Suri's idea. Suri's like, well, what if we got him to not play or to use it on Natalie? And they all were like, there's no way he would do it. And obviously her doing that is what set up the whole motion of everything taking part. I think that Suri is obviously, if not the greatest player to never win, one of. And I'm so happy that she at least got a win on Traders. Like, we'll see how she does on 50. I really feel good about her chances on 50. And my reasoning behind that is, one, we've seen Suri so much on our television screens over the last 5 years, between Big Brother, Survivor, Australian Survivor, Traders, that I feel like people are going to want to take her out because she is such a legend of the game, but also the fact that it's their time for screen time and that they want to have their moment again in Survivor 50, that they don't want to be outshined by Suri, who will always take a lot of the edit. She didn't necessarily take a lot of the edit in Australia View the World, but like when she's at the top of her game, absolutely. And I love Suri. I wish I had her on my fantasy team for Australia View the World. I would love to see her win. I think all of us would love to see her win. I just have a hard time seeing it with this cast that she's going to be able to get it done. Do the new era players, which is half the fucking cast, which is crazy to me, do they want Suri to push forward and get a win more than they want themselves to get a win? I don't know. There are people like that would rather see Suri win than themselves, and we saw that on Australia View the World. But yeah, no, it's Suri absolutely was the catalyst for that move on Eric. What if the Edge of Extinction doesn't exist? Does Devins win? No, because if Edge of Extinction doesn't exist, Devins doesn't come back in the game. Devins was eliminated early and took advantage of the fact that Edge of Extinction was there and allowed him to win and come back into the game and then get further into the game. I think that maybe you can make the argument if there's no second time around for Edge of Extinction, does he win? Right? Possibly. But at the end of the day, there was always going to be a second chance for Edge of Extinction players to get back in the game. And the other thing too is Devins wouldn't be this character that we know today if he didn't have that second half resurgence where he came back into the game and started making moves and started playing the game really hard. There's people that absolutely can't stand Devins. I loved Devins. When I watched him on my TV screen, I was like this. I was rooting for him. I wanted him to win. As far as 50 goes, we'll see. I feel like it has been enough time between seasons, and this is his second time playing, where Devins could do well in 50. But I personally know there's people that don't like Devins that are on this cast. So I know that there's a chance that Devins could be out early because there is animosity there. And I won't explain why, but there is animosity. All right, Clever Girl says, oh, good. Old Devins, loved him. He almost got the W. He did. He absolutely did. But like he obviously didn't because Edge of Extinction happened. And Chris, who we know now, is just freaking really good at everything he does via what we saw here, what we saw in the challenge. He's just a dominant player. And people knock on Chris's win. You can't knock the player for given the circumstances of the theme of the season and him having the chance to come back and win the game. But absolutely, like Chris in that scenario did all the right moves to deserve the win. So I don't knock him. I don't look at it as one of like a Jag win has an asterisk. So this obviously does have an asterisk, but not to the full extent of like a Devins win, or excuse me, a Jag win on Big Brother has, in my opinion. And you might disagree with me there. Can't blame men. We think with two heads. It's true. Hey, don't ignore my amazing 2-month streak of supporting your family. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Dave, for your Amazon Prime sub on Twitch. Thank you so much. It does help me. I was actually looking that stuff up today too. But if you guys are on Twitch or have a Twitch account, please give me a follow on there at Bobby Goodsby on Twitch, twitch.tv/Bobby Goodsby. And if you have a Amazon Prime account, you do get a free sub every month. So if you could use it on me, that would be amazing. So thank you so much for that, Dave. I appreciate you. If Russell and Fairplay won Survivor, wouldn't be shit now. Oh, sorry, I read that wrong. If Russell and Fairplay won, Survivor wouldn't be shit now. There's a case. There's absolutely a case to make that argument, right? Where if Russell and Fairplay win the game, I do feel like that sabotage or like very much a villain edit comes through more in players because they see that it can be successful. But it's very similar to like Big Brother, right? Where you can play that character type, but if you don't follow it all the way through or don't have good jury management, which we saw was Russell's downfall every single time he played, where the jury management is such a huge part in the game. You have to know how to, one, explain your game, explain why you made the moves, but also not be so terrible with jury management that it still allows you to have the respect of the cast that they understand you did it for valid reasons. So like, for instance, you could bring up Dan from Big Brother 14, right? That jury absolutely was against Dan because of the fact of how he played and how he, basically took them all out, and his style of play, his aggressive nature and backstabbing rubbed people the wrong way. But it absolutely could have, the same thing could have happened with Russell and Fairplay, where Fairplay was always kind of in a weird spot. Like, I don't feel like he ever fully had the numbers, and he would argue that he did. But I feel like no matter what, Fairplay is going to go out in the same spot no matter what. But his dead grandma lie did kind of save him through a little bit of the game, in my opinion. Like, I feel like we might lose Fairplay earlier, and we would never remember him if it weren't for the dead grandma lie. So, kudos to him. Like, the thing is, and we said this a few days ago on our villain stream, Villains are the best characters on reality television. Love them or hate them, you tune in to watch their downfall or to watch them continue to pull the rug over people. And that's our human nature. When you drive by a car accident, 90% of people are looking to see what happened in that car accident, right? Well, when you're watching reality TV and you see a villain playing aggressively and the nature of it and the style of it, and he's backstabbing people and all that, you're more captivated watching that than you are, say, season 48, where it's just a bunch of heroes or a bunch of people that are playing Kumbaya Survivor. It's 100% a thing. And if you disagree, I think that's an L take, because everyone who watches reality TV, whether you love them or hate them, you're doing it because you want to have that person to root against or root for. And underdog story is another theme to that too. Excuse me. Let me get some water real quick. Ooh. All this talking at times really dries out my throat, so I gotta stay hydrated. My testosterone levels must be high for a female, or I'm old, because Hatch never bothered me. He's a gamer and not mean. Shane also is another I never thought was that bad. Nicotine withdrawal is a real thing. Obviously, I have my nicotine here. I always have one in when I'm doing these live streams. If I were ever on Survivor, I would really have to take a nicotine break before going on, because absolutely that's a thing. Yeah, Shane just absolutely went through hardcore withdrawal on the island, which kudos to him. That's wild. Hatch, as far as Hatch, never bothered me at all either. I understand why he's a villain and why you could root against him or why you wouldn't like him, but at least he's playing the game. At least he's a gamer and going all out. I'd rather see that than some boring Kumbaya bullshit. I love season 38's Keith. Him getting voted out is so funny. I mean, it definitely feels like you're saying that for the meme. That's why I definitely feel like you saying greatest to never win is him, because it just cracks me up. Keith seems like a really nice dude, seems like a cool dude, but at the end of the day, Keith's archetype is never winning Survivor, ever. Saria's a nurse, and in an interview she did, she states that her being nurse helped her being welcoming and making people feel safe, especially when it comes to delivering bad news. No, I always have said people that either work in customer service or nurse like that, or some kind of profession where you're used to dealing with the general public or people of all different kind of cultures / personalities, wealth, what have you. If you can adapt to each of those scenarios well, I feel like those are the people that do best at any reality TV show, right? So I work as a bartender, right? And Dave, you can attest to this too. You're also a bartender where I work. We have to deal with every single walk of life at the casino, right? You get the people that are spent their last dime and are completely down and on the outs and just want someone to talk to, and you have to be able to relate to them while also having to relate to, you have these people that come in here that are worth millions and millions of dollars and just do it for entertainment and get the expensive wine and expensive food and what have you. And you have to be able to find common ground to relate to them as well, where I'm a middle-class white male. There's things that I probably don't connect with these people, or I haven't had the fortune or, disfortune that some people have had. But there's a way as a bartender or as a server or customer service in general that you connect with these people on a personal level. And I mean, we have people at our bar that come back and say they only come back to see us, the relationships they have with the people that they see, once a week, once a month, what have you. But they come back specifically for us, and that's because of the conversation and the way we're able to relate to these people or find common ground or find something that interests them. And I feel like those people on Survivor are always the best suited for the show. If you don't work in some kind of field where you have common ground or you have some kind of customer relations or customer service or dealing with the general public, you don't fully know how to walk and talk with every single walk of life, right? And that's the thing about Survivor or a lot of our reality TV shows is these are people coming from all different walks of life, all different backgrounds, and how do they adapt in this crazy game where you have to backstab, trust, lie, what have you, and how do they interact and socially navigate through that. And I feel like there's just the people that win that have those backgrounds, or at least are some of the greats that have those backgrounds. It's because of their job, of because of what they're able to do. I think it's very important. And I think also everyone should have a customer service job for at least 1 week in their life, because it just gives you that point of view that I feel like a lot of people take for granted. All right, counterpoint to all the Suri fans. She's so overrated. She needs to learn to swim and make a physical effort. Say what you want, but other female legends are well-rounded. I mean, yes, absolutely, they're more well-rounded, but there's something to the effect of what they're saying there where Suri and her social skills has always been her strong suit, no matter what show she's on. Look what she did on The Traitors, where she was a traitor, but she had so much trust built up with these people because of her social relationships that they absolutely trusted her and knew that, like, regardless of Suri is a traitor, they liked her and wanted her to continue to go, right? They wanted her to go far. They wanted her to get to the end and win the money with them. And they didn't think she was a traitor because she's so sweet and naturally charming and what have you, that they didn't want to see her go out. They wanted her, even if she was a traitor, they wanted her to get there and be part of that group, but they really didn't feel like she was a traitor. Like, that's a prime example, but we've seen time and time again on Survivor as well with her. What's up? Oh, I never know how to say this. Nafa. What's going on? Good to see you again, my friend. Not gonna lie, I hope Survivor 50 is the last time we see Suri on our TV. I'm just over. I agree. Like, at the end of the day, after Survivor 50, I think we need a long break from Suri. I don't ever feel like the show's going to completely move away from Suri, or like that. Like, other shows aren't going to pick up Suri in some capacity, because she is a lot of fun. She is a great player, but like, can we take like a 5-year hiatus at least, right? Like, because we've just seen so much of her lately between Traitors, Big Brother, A vs. the World, and now Survivor 50. I was actually kind of shocked that she came back for 50, not gonna lie. Oh yeah, I also hate you for beating me in fantasy football. Russell is my fave all time. Forget about him. He was so freaking awesome. I mean, Russell's great, right? Russell, can we not agree too that, like, Russell doesn't ever turn on his allies? Like, if he's working with you and, like, from the beginning, and you're working with him and you absolutely want to be on his side with him, he works with you. He's just will betray everyone else. He will backstab everyone else. But as far as like alliances go, he's not a bad alliance member to have. And he's always the bigger target in front of you. Too bad his nephew was a psycho. Yeah, I mean, obviously we've seen how that planned out. I can't, like, I get people that aren't like, they don't want Suri back on their screens for a while after 50. I'm on the same boat. I completely am on the same boat as you. What she lacks in physical prowess, she makes up for with social and strategy 10 times over. But to be fair, you should know how to swim to be on the show. Just like you should know how to make fire, you should 100% know how to swim, right? Like, and I get it. Some people, like, they just never had that, opportunity to learn how to swim, and that's fine. But also, it's to the same effect of, I never knew how to make fire. But you can bet your ass that if I found out I was ever going on Survivor, I'd be practicing every single day leading up to playing Survivor. That I would absolutely teach myself the best possible way to make fire with flint and, what have you. So you absolutely, like, you should go into this show, go into the situation with those abilities, especially someone that's been on Survivor so many times. Like, how do you not know how to do that? It's kind of crazy. But I think maybe she just realizes she doesn't need to because her social ability is so strong. I don't know. Get your comments read live here on stream. Give us a like, guys, if you can. Put your comments in here. What are your biggest Survivor what ifs? I will get to some more of these right here, but I want to hear more of your guys' what if moments when it comes to the history of Survivor. Your last point is what I meant. I do agree with social. She's a beast. Yeah, and we can all agree on that. Yep, sales or customer service is crucial life training. Thank you. I agree. I agree. And I've done both. I've done both sales and customer service. Definitely not as good at sales like my dad is, but that is not my strong suit. But customer service, that's just something. And there is something to the effect of, if you're doing it later in life, I feel like it's a disservice to your ability to fully grasp how customer service works. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but I think that when we're older, right, we already have our nature pretty much set in stone of who we are and how we present ourselves. Where when you're younger, you're more impressionable. And so I feel like it's better to have that impressionable person learning in a customer service situation for life training. And I think that translates completely to any reality show, especially Survivor, especially when you're in these starving conditions where, yes, there's times I go to my bar and I'm just like, the last thing I want to do is see this person, and boom, they walk in, right? But what I do, I turn on my happy face, be like, hi, how's it going? Hope you're good to see you again. What can I get you? And then try to just like get them in, get them out. But is it fair to say that I'm always turned on in the way that I need to liven up the conversation or be a person that is happy all the time? No, because I'm not happy all the time. No one's happy all the time. But you have to find a way to almost fake it. And I feel like people with that life training can fake it and are really well versed in how to fake it or make it feel appealing. The best thing, and I've said this before, that one of the best things I've ever heard a survivor play came from Boston Rob, when he said, I don't want to be who you think I am. I want to be who I think you think I am. I think that's how it was, right? I don't want to be who I think I am. Or no, that's what it is. I don't want to be who I think I am. I want to be who I think you think I am. Which I know there's a lot there and it's a lot to digest. The wording it's kind of difficult, but it's so true, right? So I don't want to go into a customer service situation or a reality TV show being like, I want you to be or think of me as how I think I am, right? I don't want to go in there and be like, this is me, this is who I am. And if you don't like it, there's something wrong with you. You need to be able to adapt to what that person thinks of you. So, for instance, if I go and say, okay, Dave, I know who I am, but I want to be in front of you who you think I am. Because if I am who you think I am, then that's going to make you more comfortable with me. Or that's going to allow me to understand maybe where your thinking it lies when it comes to me as a person or me as a game player. I think that just makes you more aware. Because if you can sit back and take your personal out of it and not think about it as, okay, this is who I am, this is how I'm going to play, and this is the right way, and if anyone disagrees with it, you're wrong. You have to be able to adapt to that person's personality so that then you become someone that they're comfortable with because you're adapting to their personality. I hope that makes sense. I know that was a lot to digest there, but there's a lot to that. And I feel like that could honestly, like, there could be so much more brought into that circumstance. And I really think it's important for future players to understand that you need to adapt, just like someone in customer service, what have you, sales, etc., is able to adapt to make their sell. So I'll get off that wagon, but that's exactly how I feel. What if potential players from Golden Survivor, Bob Crowley, Saree Fields, Denise Stapley, Earl Cole, Jonathan Penner, Cass McKeown, I can never say her name, Richard Hatch, Terry Dietz, Tina Wesson, Tom Westman. I think that obviously this was brought up on the On Fire podcast with Jeff. Would they have like a gold, like they had Golden Bachelor? Would they have a Golden Survivor and have all older people, or later days people, as Teeny would say, or not Teeny? What was her name? You know who I'm talking about from Survivor 41. Would say, will they ever have like a golden survivor where they have an older cast? And he said no, like that's something they would never do. I do think it would be interesting. I've said many times, I think a 30 plus season would be fantastic. If they did 30 plus, and it doesn't even have to be like old, as in like old year wise, right? 30 is not old, but you're so much more mature. You're such in a different place in life than you are in your 20s. Me at 25 or 26 is a hell of a lot different person than me at 36, right? Now I'm a dad. Now I'm a husband. Now I have more financial obligations. Now I have something to strive for to better my future for my kid, for my wife, for my family. So I absolutely think that you're just at a different mindset at that point than you are in your 20s. And don't get me wrong, there's been plenty of really good 20-something-year-olds that have played the game. Some of the all-time legends played the games in their 20s. But I do think that majority of the time, I would like to see Survivor skew a little bit older or have a cast that is 30 plus and see how it pans out and see these people that are a little wiser, a little more secure in themselves and see how they would play the game. I think it's a great idea. I think that they should absolutely run with it. I don't think they ever will. Jeff made that very clear, but I think it'd be fantastic TV if they did. What if Boston Rob won Survivor All-Stars? Would people still call him overrated despite playing one of the best games ever that season? I mean, I think that season obviously made Boston Rob into Boston Rob. It's a huge like his gameplay that season was so, it wasn't even like chaotic, but it was like chaotic in a good way where he played balls to the wall and it made people respect him. And obviously he lied, he backstabbed, he did what he had to do, but it was so dominant. And then when we see in the season that he wins, how dominant he played when he was able to coerce people into doing even a buddy system where they couldn't go anywhere without a buddy, that it's captivating television. And I think that the legend was always there, regardless if he won or not. And obviously he still won. Like his eventual wife won the money instead of him. So no matter what, it was a win-win. But at the end of the day, he wants that crown, right? He wants to be known as the winner of that season. And I think he would argue that like he was happy that his wife won because like he'd rather his wife win than him. When I've talked to him in the past, like he kind of, that's the vibe I got, I guess I would say. But he did end up coming back and eventually getting that crown that eluded him so many times before. I think that if he wins All-Stars, we don't see Rob as much as we would have, what we eventually did see. But who knows? Maybe we would have. Maybe we would have seen him even more. I don't know. But I think that no matter what, I don't even think he's overrated. I think he's a great player. I don't think his gameplay would work nowadays. I think people have seen how it's worked for him and that he continues to play the same way. And then now people just aren't going to like let that get far. But that's because he was so dominant early on for so many years that you can't call him overrated when his gameplay has literally been sussed out where people won't let him get far because of the fact that he's been so dominant. So there's no way people can even consider that overrated when it's been dominant enough to be not allowed to go far ever again. So thank you, Marcus, for the comment. Good to see you again, my friend. Nox Utah, how's it going, buddy? How you doing? Sup, Bobby? New coach, some Titans. Yeah. I almost I actually didn't take the Patriots this week in my Survivor pool because I was hoping you guys would pull off the upset and knock a lot of people out. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, but yeah, I took the Raiders a couple weeks ago against your Titans, so thank you for that. But you guys will be fine. You guys have a good future ahead of you. Might just be like 10 years down the road. I have no comment on your hot take about faking it at work and guess. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't put that on social media. It's not necessarily faking it, but it's like being a enhanced version of yourself, right? So at the end of the day, I'm still me. When I'm working, I'm still me, but maybe I'm an exaggerated version of myself to, one, make money, and to two, to like, make my guests happy, because I do want to make them happy. I do want to give them a good experience and keep them coming back. And obviously, so they could say good things about me, so my work realizes I'm doing my job right. But most importantly, it's to make money, right? So I'm doing what I have to do. I'm building those relationships because there's an end goal there. And it's so similar to Survivor, right? Survivor, you want those people, like what Sari does so well, is to feel comfortable with you. Feel like they don't want you out. They want you there because they get along with you so much. There's something to be said that the social strategy is obviously one of the most important things you can have. It's not the most important, but the fact that you can go and prove to people that even though it's probably not in their best interest to keep you, they want you there because of the fact that you're just such a likable person and pleasure to be around. And that goes hand in hand with what I do at work and what many of you do at work. What if Survivor had live feeds? If Survivor had live feeds, it'd be a mess. Right? First off, they could never have live feeds. We've said this too, where if they had some kind of like behind the scenes stuff that they could add to Paramount Plus, where we got something similar to live feeds, but they couldn't ever do full live feeds. Obviously, it's a tape show. It's not live when we're watching it like Big Brother is. But also the fact is, like, how many of these people that have been, like, Survivor does a pretty good job at protecting their cast, unless it's absolutely egregious or something to the extent of like a villain edit. They do pretty much a very good job of protecting their cast from the viewers. Compared to Big Brother, it's night and day. Obviously, Big Brother has live feeds, so there's a lot there. But imagine how many people, former survivors we've had play this game, that we would, maybe they're like greats or lovable favorites or people that, you know, are like just beloved by the fan base, that we would be absolutely hated on social media now because of maybe their hot takes or their personality. But we didn't get that because it's an edited show, right? So like, I feel like we would possibly have a completely different fan base when it came to this community towards certain players, because we got to know the real them with live feeds. And I think that for the show, it would be cool if they had an element of that you could watch in like extra clips on Paramount Plus. And I know that they have, like, you know, the extended clips or what have you, or they used to have the Ponderosa videos, but do something more like the Ponderosa videos for on the island when they're actually playing the game. Like if they had something like that, I feel like it'd be very, very captivating. And they have the opportunity to. I mean, think about how long they're out there and how many hours they have of just them doing nothing, that they gave us more game talk or like longer in-depth versions of that. There's something there. It's hard to put finger point what exactly they could do without it actually being like a live feed situation. Geriatric Survivor, I'm in. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd be into Geriatric Survivor. That's hilarious. They can't do Geriatric Survivor for legal reasons. I mean, they could do like what I said, right? Where it's a 30 plus season, you know, a later days season, but they couldn't do obviously like all like 60 plus. Like realistically, that's not possible. Like it is, but it isn't, right? And I'm not saying 60's old, but like, could you have a cast of 60 and 70-year-olds out there, the whole thing? No, I don't think so. But like 30 plus, 40 plus, what have you, I think it could work. Amber was like, Probst, please create a rigged Survivor so my hub will stop sulking. I disagree. I mean, I don't think that was a rig. It was a setup to be a Russell versus Boston Rob type of season. And we've seen this many times. I mean, look at Big Brother 27 that we just had, where they brought back Rachel. It was only one player, but like they've done these situations where they brought back one player or two players and did a situation like that where it was like a team thing. I think that there's precedence for it. So I'm not going to say it's rigged by any means, because you still have to outwit, outlast, and outplay, right? At the end of the day, these people, it takes one person more convincing than you to stop you in your tracks. What if, here's another what if Boston Rob would have been on the other tribe and Russell was on the tribe that Boston Rob was on? Would Russell have had the same effect on those people? Would they have been all about Russell like they were Boston Rob? Or was Boston Rob just more beloved and Russell was more of a villain that it wouldn't have worked either way? Or would Boston Rob had gone out early if he was on the other tribe that Russell was on, like Russell did? I think just imagine that. Just one switch of we are going to put Boston Rob here and we're going to put Russell here. How much does that change that season? I don't know if we get a Boston Rob win. I don't know. Maybe Russell was just on the tribe that was like, yeah, we're playing for us and this is our season, not his. We don't want it to be all about the Russell show, the Boston Rob show. And the other tribe was like, oh, we're eating it up. Give us the Boston Rob show. Would they have been like, give us the Russell show? We're eating it up. I don't know. It's a huge what if moment. Just literally casting or production just swaps. It's crazy to think about. Get your guys' comments read live here on stream. We're doing the biggest what if moments in Survivor history. I want more of your guys' comments in here. Let me know your biggest what if moments when it comes to Survivor. Tatsuya says, what if Lex Vandenberg decides to target Amber on All Stars? That is a massive one, right? Because if Lex ends up not going with Rob and not listening to Rob when he says, can you just save Amber? I got your back. I don't think, one, obviously Amber goes out, but two, I think Boston Rob has a big uphill battle in the ability to turn things around in his favor, excuse me. But at the same time, then maybe it's not as much of a backstabby feeling for people on the cast like Lex, who obviously held that aggression for many years, where if that happens and he still takes out Amber and Boston Rob then backstabs him later in the game like we saw, do they give Boston Rob more credit and increase his ability to win if he gets to the final two? Because of the fact that, listen, he's not just backstabbing you when you do him a favor. He's backstabbing you because you betrayed him. So that question can go both ways, right? Does Boston Rob get there? I don't know. That's literally an alternate timeline, like the freaking metaverse, where we don't know what would have happened. But at the same time, if he does get there because he backstabbed Lex after Lex just backstabbed him and took out Amber, do you support the win more? Is it a more palatable ability to give him the win in that scenario? It's interesting. Tommy, Don't Bite Your Tongue says, they set up which tribe he'd be on. Russell would have won if he was on that tribe. I think there's an argument. I think there's absolutely an argument to be made that Russell would have had the same kumbaya camp that Boston Rob had they just switched sides. 1,000%. And but I think that there's also an element, right? There's an element to the fact that Boston Rob was also, yes, he was like a villain, but he was like a rootable family man. People like Boston Rob. He's got this stigma about him that he's just like the cool guy on campus type of thing, like someone you want to be around. Well, Russell is more like, and maybe it's like, you can talk about like physical physique too, where Boston Rob's a good looking dude. Like he's strong in challenges. He's like likable. It's the accent. It's all of it. Well, Russell, it's the accent, it's the look, it's the nature, his voice, what have you, that give off more of a schemy feel, more of a villainous feel. And there's something to that effect too. Like that has a big, I think more than people realize, is that literally your physical features, your stature, your prowess, the emotions on your face can really dictate how comfortable people are with you. and who has more of an approachable look to them, Russell Hantz or Boston Rob? Like there's a real argument there that is a major plot point that people don't talk about, is your ability to show your facial features or your mannerisms or what have you, and how do they rub off on other people. And would Russell in that situation, had he been in the other tribe, unlike Boston Rob, like they would have switched tribes, would that effect still have worked? I don't know. But I appreciate the comment. You also said, have you been watching Russell's YouTube channel with him talking shit? I have. I actually watched the one a couple days ago, or what was it, a couple weeks ago, where he's in the pool and there's just like he's like clearly in like a pool at like some resort. It was a beautiful pool, but he's just like walking around in the pool holding up his phone, and you just see some random dude on the other side of the pool. It's just him and one other dude in the pool, and he's like going off about Survivor stuff. I'm like, what must it be like for that other guy in the pool that's just there watching this dude on his phone do a live stream with you in the background in this like beautiful location, just bitching about Survivor. Like, it was kind of funny to watch. Like, that's how my mind worked. I was like, what is it like to be a fly on the wall like that dude in the background? But he brought up a very interesting point where he's like, oh yeah, Jeff would never want you to know this, but the reason why it'll always be 26 days is they realized they could do it cheaper, and it's cheaper for them, post COVID, to do less days, and they can still generate the same product to an extent. Some of us may disagree that it's more money in Probe's pocket because of that, which I thought was like very interesting that he would come out with those kind of details. But that's what he's doing nowadays, because I don't think he ever feels like he's going to have the ability to play again. So he's just like, F it, I'm throwing everything at to the wind and being like, screw you people is what it feels like. It feels like Jerry on Big Brother 10. Screw you people. So yeah, no, I've been watching it. It's crazy to me, some of the stuff that he's coming out there with. I bet you he has a lot more though he could say, for sure. I think we're getting a reduced version of it. Jerry Roy, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you. What if Palau Ian doesn't quit and wins final immunity and takes Tom to final 2? Who wins? I still think Tom. And I can understand the case for Ian 100%. But I still think Tom wins, because I still think Tom was in a better spot with that jury and just had the more likability. But it's very interesting. I can see why you would say Ian. Obviously, Ian was very well loved as well. But I there's something about Tom Westman. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like he just feels like a dude that you could have a beer with and hang out with, and just would be just such a cool person to talk to about life and stuff. I don't know. Maybe that's just my emotional feelings towards it, but I still think Tom wins. Thank you for the comment. Marcus says, I don't think Russell does that well, even on Switch Tribes. Russell's gameplay is a lot more in-your-face aggressive than Rob. Rob has the charm where he can be what the other person needs him. Yeah, and that goes back to my point. I did say this, right? Where at the same time, Rob gives off that effect of like he's willing to work with anyone, and he thinks he creates the freaking buddy system, right? Where it's like you feel good with him because he wants you to be a part of this. Where Russell is more schemy, more aggressive, more in your face, like you said, and it rubs people, a lot of people the wrong way. Where Boston Rob will listen to you, he might not always take in what you say as like truth or like go your direction. Hell no, majority of the time he goes the direction he wants to go, but he at least gives you the feeling of being listened to, where Russell Hantz is always like, no, that's stupid. There's that effect as well. I think that no matter what happens, it's an interesting conversation, because that other tribe, the tribe that Boston Rob was on, was so kumbaya that the other side had way more game players and gamers on it, that albeit they weren't the greatest gamers in the world, but they were a hell of a lot better than the other side that was just more kumbaya. So I think it's a question that you have to ask. Do I think so personally? No, I think it didn't matter for Russell no matter what he did. But I also think that means Boston Rob doesn't win the game. I think if he's on the other tribe, I think the other tribe was like, this is our season, not yours. And he'll go out early, the more they lose. Thank you for the comment, Marcus. Kate, the great one. What's going on, my friend? Good to see you. I believe Jeff has said cost was part of why they kept the changes. Yeah, and they 100% it was the reason. Like, that's the number one factor, right? Besides the fact of, one, you could like obviously cost, and you can make the show cheaper while also doing it in a reduced way that doesn't affect the TV viewers' experience. But I hate that, and I know I keep preaching this, and I apologize. I hate that they starve them. Like, why? Why do we need that? Like, you can still give them a cup of rice a day, and I'm fine with that. But they don't need to be starved. So at the same time, like, yes, cost is a big part of it. If having 26 days allows us to have Survivor for many more years, I'm fine with it. Right? At the end of the day, I'd rather have Survivor than not have Survivor. I'd rather have the absolutely shittiest season of Survivor on my television screen than no Survivor at all. Because there is at least something, even in that shit season, that you can root for, root against, or want to see upset. But to have no Survivor or shit Survivor, give me shit Survivor all day. All day. Appreciate the comment. Rob and Russell are both bossy, but you can be nice or be a bully. And 100% to that effect. That's what I said. That's what I went over too, is like, there's just something about Rob that doesn't feel bullyish compared to what Russell gives off. I'm Canadian, so I'm wondering if they did BB All Stars USA versus Canada in the US house, who would you want to see in the BB or from BB Can? So for people for BB Can that I would want to see, Kevin, both Kevins, both Kevins, because I love them. Ika, oh man, I'm see. The thing is, when you put me in a pressure cooker like this, where I have to remember names, it's a little more difficult for me because it's been so long since I'm not good at names. If you guys haven't recognized that yet, what is his name? Oh, come on, keyboard. We can one cast. What is his name? What is his name? What is his name? Emmett. Also, there's a lot of people from season 1 that I would want to see on that kind of cast. Tom. Who else was it? Okay, so it was Julian Gary. Peter. Oh, not Tom. Sorry. So Peter and Alec, which I've talked to both of them. I actually was on like a reality team with Alec. Super nice dude. Excuse me. Love to see them play again. Emmett. And that's just season 1. Then you got both the Kevins, Ika, Dimitri. I know I'm saying a lot of the big names, but those are people I would want to see. What was the guy's name that was from Australian Survivor? Or sorry, Australian Big Brother that played on BB Can 4? What was his name? I'm totally blanking. Netta would be a good one. Thank you for that one. Yeah. Gary, I've seen Gary. I don't really need to see Gary again. I get it. Like, I'd be fine with it if Gary was there. I don't need to see Gary again. Tim from Big Brother Canada 4, and I know he's from Australian Big Brother. 1,000% I would love to see him play again. He was terrible at challenges, but he was such good TV. Such good TV. I would kill to see him in the Big Brother US house. Like, can you guys agree with me? Was Tim not super entertaining? Like, he made that season so watchable. And I know we're getting on a Big Brother tangent, but I'll try to get back to Survivor. But it is an interesting conversation. So let me look at BB Can 5, because I know I really like BB Can 5 cast. It would help if I put cast in here. So you got Netta. Karen would be great. Karen and Angela in the same Big Brother house. Could you imagine? I don't know if I need to see Bruno again. Cindy with an S would be fun. Let's see here. Who else is on here? Cassandra would be fun. I don't need to see Dallas again. Man. Godfrey would be great. Spicy V. I don't know if I need Spicy V again, but like I understand why the show would bring her back. I would really like to see Godfrey again. That'd be a lot of fun. Man, we got a lot of comments on that. That's an interesting one. I do think we need to go through and do that cast assessment if we did US versus Canada Big Brother. Be a fun stream. Appreciate your comment. Mary, what's going on, Mary? What if Game Changers actually cast Game Changers? I mean, not that's based, absolutely. Like, they should have had more actual Game Changers, you know. Sierra Dawn Thomas doesn't move the needle for me as a game changer. But I mean, you could say that with a lot of casts, though, too, right? Like Survivor 50. Why does it have to be half new era? There's a lot to that. Boston Rob and Russell are two sides of the same coin. Listen to Boston Rob's confessionals. He's brutal. Same ego, superiority, in my opinion. Yes, but he hides it better. Russell doesn't hide it well at all. Boston Rob does. And then when he does it in confessions, similar to Brittany Haynes on Big Brother in the diary room, they give us their all in the confessions and diary room, but then are able to play off the character when they're actually in the house and play a lesser version so that it's not so in your face. Russell Hantz, though, could never. Disagree. Don't give him shit. I couldn't disagree with you more there. I think that you have to give him some kind of food. Kevin has been redacted, so that's a no. Which Kevin? Which winner? Big Brother Canada's 5 winner, or the other Big Brother? Was it Big Brother Canada 8 or 7 or whatever? I don't remember. But that's interesting. It can't be the one that's on the Traders right now. By the way, I got to watch the Traders Canada. Still haven't watched that yet. Very much so looking forward to that. Netta, Gary Glitter. Oh yeah, Emmett's a good one. Yeah, I think Emmett would be a lot of fun, especially all these years later. Kind of a bland character, but at least like he was fun. Like I did enjoy him. Survivor 51, Island of the Idols 2, but it's Dan Limbo and Keith Sowell that they go to see. I think, didn't Dan pass away? I think so. Yeah, Dan passed away. Unfortunately, he was one of the ones I saw in that in memoriam thing. So, R.I.P. Dan. The moment with his boots getting buried by the crazy lady is always going to be up there for me. Or his interview with Rob afterwards. He's like, "Is this mandatory? I got a flight to catch." So good. Yeah, Tim. We don't need to see Kevin Martin ever again. Did he do something? Is there something I missed that he did? Because I'm cool with seeing Kevin Martin, unless there's something I missed that he did terribly. Yeah, they should do BB World All-Stars too. I mean, yeah, I would rather see Big Brother US versus Canada, but you can still put Tim in that category because he has played the Canadian version, even though he's not Canadian. But I would 100% be down for BB US versus Canada and then do some sort of like world version. I mean, we're never going to get it, guys. Like, let's be real. We're never going to get that. Like, Big Brother US does not care about us enough to give us something like that, even though the fans would be so here for it. BB Can would have been more likely to have BB Can versus US in Canada, 1,000%. But that show doesn't exist anymore. Here's another question. Do we think we're ever going to get Big Brother Canada back in some capacity? Maybe on a different network? Do we think it's possible Big Brother Canada will be back? Because was it really ratings? I think ratings obviously dropped off a lot because they obviously got rid of the live feeds. It's why I didn't even finish more than 3 weeks of the last season of Big Brother Canada. Because if there's no feeds, I really could care less. So I get that, like, and the problem is social media was really the driving force behind why they got rid of the live feeds to an extent. But yeah, I think, do we ever think that show could come back in some capacity? We'll see. Yeah, I don't remember many Big Brother people except Mothership BB UK. I know all of them. And here's the thing. I've never watched a full season of Big Brother UK. It is not the same show. I do not care about public interest or public voting. It is literally like my number one. I hate it with everything in me because it takes away from social strategy so much that BB UK is all just who's the most likable person and who does the public want to vote out. I hate that. It's not Big Brother. And I know that's the gamer in me. I'm more of a gamer than I am just like, oh, let's just have a vacation sitting in the house, do these stupid little challenges and be the most likable and let the public vote. I hate it. I hate it so much. And maybe I'm completely off base on how Big Brother UK is nowadays, but like, I can't get on board with that. And we're talking a lot about Big Brother now, but we did talk a lot Survivor. So whatever you guys want to talk about, let's get your messages read here on the chat, whatever it may be. Definitely not Spicy V. I don't know if I need Spicy V 3.0, but I get why people enjoy her. We didn't need Spicy V a second time regardless. Not false. Spicy V was Canadian spicy. 1000%. 1000%. It's like spicy maple syrup. Like, do you need it? No. Is it okay? Sure. Jared, what's going on, Jared? Thank you so much for joining the chat. Wait, can someone tell me why people don't like Devins? So there was comments made on his season that people didn't like. So that weren't shared publicly, and I won't share them here. But there's things out there that that I know from the survivors. I know that rub people the wrong way. But there's also a lot of people that do like Devins. And I think the TV gave us the likable Devins because he was a major character to that theme and to that season. So I'm interested to see what happens when he's on the season. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to dive in anymore, but I'm very interested. No way you said Jag has a bigger asterisk than Underwood. How is that even possible? Because of the theme of the season, right? I get that that's kind of contradicting everything. That Jag has a bigger asterisk because he was voted out and got kept in, right? And I know that's me being biased. I understand that, and maybe it's a hot take. Maybe you guys disagree. I feel like Underwood, I mean, that was the theme of the season. That was what happened. And like, he did everything he had to do to win. I don't know. Maybe I just enjoyed it more. I don't know, Jared. Maybe you're bringing it out of me. Maybe I'm being, I'm not being fair to Jag, and maybe it is very similar. But maybe that's my unconscious bias, or whatever Brandy Boo would say that I should be saying. But yeah, I definitely think that like I have a bias there because I liked Chris Underwood's win more than most because I felt like he did everything he had to do once he got that opportunity. And Jag, I feel like coasted a lot of the way because he took people that he knew he could beat in challenges and just challenge beast his way, and he was voted out. I get it. Maybe it's not fair, but whatever. This is my platform, and I'm going to die on that hill. What if me got the Afghanimals over the 20s on Survivor 29? Ooh, that is interesting. If we would have got the Afghanimals over the 20s, well, I don't think Natalie Anderson's nearly as highly regarded amongst fans, especially in overall viewership. Like, I mean, obviously she killed it in San Juan del Sur. She even killed it in Survivor 40, where she could have absolutely won that game. I'm glad Tony won it because I do feel like Tony deserved it more. Like for Devins, right? It was Edge of Extinction style. I would have been more happy with the Devins win because he did play the majority of the game, unlike Chris Underwood, where he went out earlier and came back way later. But yeah, I think as far as the Afghanimals go, like I would have enjoyed seeing them because I think they are entertaining, and maybe we'll get them in the future. But the 20s, I mean, what would Survivor 29 have been without Natalie Anderson there? And to have like the bookend of Nadia on one side and Natalie, going out first and then winning the game, like it's crazy. Juan says, what if CBS sold the rights to Survivor? Who would you like to see get it? 1000% Peacock/NBC. Not even a question. Everything that they have done when given the rights of another show, like look at Love Island, it's become a cultural phenomenon, right? They go into what the fans are actually looking for and feed it in the right direction. Where CBS, obviously that's like CBS's baby. I don't ever see that happening, but it's a very interesting question. Like if they were to lose the rights, or if they were to sell the rights, I would 100,000, 50 million% wanted to go to Peacock/NBC. They put up such good reality TV content nowadays. Love Island, Traders, Dondi, if we ever see it again, who knows? Like, there's so many aspects of what they do right that I wish CBS would lean more into in certain aspects, between casting and what have you. It's like, it's everything they do is they're touching right now is turning to gold. Outside of Destination X. I wish I heard the tore the house down though. LOL, but could build a better one. And that's the thing. It's like, yeah, they might have torn the house down, might have to go to a different lot or something like that. But they could do it, right? Like, they could remake Big Brother Canada in some capacity. It's not that hard to build a set that looks like a house. But if they went to a different network, like, I would so be here for it. Like, we've had now enough of a break that I'm like, please bring back Big Brother Canada. Like, I want that content for the winter seasons so that I have more Big Brother to talk about, because it is crazy how much my viewership drops off when I start talking Survivor compared to Big Brother. And maybe it's because people know me more as like the Big Brother guy, and I've been talking Big Brother for many, many years. But I do, obviously, I love Survivor just as much as I love Big Brother. But my content, like, is not nearly the same numbers when Survivor's a topic opposed to Big Brother. So if I had Big Brother more of a year-round thing, let's say we had, Survivor US proper in the summer, then in like December, November, you had some kind of weird spinoff, like a Big Brother Reindeers game, and then February/March starts Big Brother Canada. Oh, it would give me so much more content for the channel. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. But yeah, they absolutely could do it. Kate the Great One, it's so hard to know about BB Can return. It is inexpensive to produce, but the world is changing. Add AI to the social media junk, and US might not be far behind. I think US has got its placehold that no matter what, it's there. It's a staple for CBS when it comes to their summer content, because there is a weird lull in the summertime for productions of sitcoms and other shows like that they need that summer content, and Big Brother is a big part of it. It's also a reason why we have Big Brother on 3 times a week in the summer. It's because they need that content that they don't have from compared to their spring and fall scheduled non-reality shows. So that's a big factor too. It's super cheap for them to produce. It's way, way cheaper than Survivor or Amazing Race for them to produce, where it's literally the same house and they just change the theme every year and then make challenges inside the house. It's not nearly the price tag of what Survivor and Amazing Race cost them to do. So we've said this before. We had a stream where we said which show will outlast the others. 1,000%, in my opinion, it'll be Big Brother. I think Big Brother is here to stay for a long, long time, unless something like socially, through social media, what have you, based off a contestant or production or something in the game. And we've seen them go through so many trials where maybe the show should have been canceled because of things people have said or done, and they still survived it. That I think that Big Brother's got the best longevity chances for sure. Have you seen $1 Million Secret on Netflix? I did. We actually podcasted about it. Me, Johnny, and a couple others. We did the podcast every single week, and we actually got exit interviews for that, which that's another thing is CBS, give us the exit interviews too. Traders NBC Peacock, they give us interviews for Dondi, for Destination X. We got them for $1 Million Secret. Like, Fox has given us extra interviews for 99 to Beat. Like, if we could get Survivor or Big Brother exit interviews, God, what I would do with that. But yeah, $1 Million Secret was great. I mean, I liked it. I hated. And if you go back, watch my podcast on the very last episode. You don't have to watch any of the other podcasts, but watch my podcast on the very last episode of $1 Million Secret. I go off on that final challenge. The one right before the finale where they have to thread the needle to be able to like get it through what was it? A thread of cloth or what is whatever, a thread, and put it through a needle, and that's how they win the challenge. That is the worst challenge I've ever seen in the history of reality television, and it's not even funny. And I went off as like, if I'm the guy who came up with the concept for that challenge, this is the guy that did it. It was so funny. I was dying because I was just like, this is so ridiculous. It could be true. So go back and check that out if you haven't won. It's great. What if Jerry was in the final 3 of Heroes versus Villains instead of Sandra? Then Parvati would have won that season like she deserved. Don't disagree. I mean, honestly, though, Parvati, yeah, probably would have won. Russell still deserved the win more, in my opinion. But Sandra her game is so good with anyone but me, but she makes you feel like she has no chance to win. They were threatened by Jerry. They thought Jerry absolutely had a chance to win. But I agree with you. I think that Parvati wins that no matter what, even though I think it should have been Russell. Love Chris Underwood. He killed it in the Challenge USA and hope he goes on to the main challenge. He should. The fact that they haven't had him on the main challenge yet, I think it's because he was so dominant. I would love to see him up against a Johnny Bananas, a Wes, Nani, like any of those people. Like I would love to see Chris Underwood versus Fat CT. I'm here for it. I think they have all these other Big Brother and Survivor people on there. Why can't they have him? Nobody's ever gonna make me like Chris or Jag. That's fair. That's fair, and that's not a hot take. I totally understand where you'd be coming from with that. Natalie was 100% robbed. I'm sticking to that quietly with Broken. She's phenomenal. I don't know if she was robbed. I think that Tony lasted the whole game, played a hell of a game. Him or oh my God, why am I blanking on her name? Jesus, hold on. Survivor 40 cast. Why I can see her. It's why am I blanking on her? Sarah Lucina. Dear God, why couldn't I think of her name? Sarah Lucina or Tony, whoever won that fire, I still feel like was going to win that game. Yeah, no, not Michelle. I know you guys are thinking Michelle, not Michelle. I was trying to think of Sarah Lucina, which is mind-boggling that I couldn't remember Sarah Lucina's name. Like 100% whoever won that fire-making challenge was winning the game, in my opinion. I get why Natalie almost won. I understand it. I see why people, obviously the people voted out wanted one of those people to win. There was an aspect of that, but I love that they respected the game enough to realize that like Tony played a hell of a game. You could have given it to Sarah too. And once she got there, or when Tony got there, he absolutely was the deserving winner. Natalie was not robbed, in my opinion. And Mary, you may disagree with that. Palaver Girl, you might disagree with that. But I think that Tony was the rightful winner of Winners at War. 1,000%. And maybe it's a hot take. I'll pay $5,000 for a Keith Soul interview. Okay, so you'll pay me $5,000? Done. I will get Keith on the show tomorrow for $5,000. Hell, I will go out of my way to grab him for $5,000. First off, Tommy, I don't think you ever need to never should pay $5,000 for a Keith Soul interview. But if that's the case, if that's what it takes, done. Consider it done. Guys, I will be on the phone right now. I will get him on the phone this second if that's the case. If there's $5,000 involved. Worse, the duct tape chair on the challenge. Nothing can be as bad as that. No. Mary, I promise you, if you haven't seen it, the worst challenge of all time was on $1 Million Secret. Just go watch either my content on after show if you haven't seen that podcast where I did that, but go and watch that last episode. You don't even have to watch the whole show. Just watch that freaking segment of that game. It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. It's so bad. It was like a 99 to beat challenge, but like worse. Right? Like it was worse. At least the 99 to beat ones are at least a little more entertaining. Oh my God, the guy on 99 to beat who beat by his wife after she messed it up for him. He's bringing that up in arguments for sure. LOL. I haven't watched 99 to beat yet, so just letting you guys know I haven't watched it yet, but I'll have to go check that. I want to see it. I just haven't had time. I really haven't had time to watch it. Like Survivor, life, all this stuff gets in the way, and football. 99 to Beat hasn't been on my high priority list. I had to get through Alice in Borderlands, Love is Blind. Like, there's so many shows I'm trying to catch up on right now. Also, I started rewatching Survivor 47 just to like get a better idea of Gabe's game, since he's one of my friends now and I podcast with him all the time. I wanted to get I just wanted to get like more of an aspect of like his gameplay. I'm still looking for that big move. He did play better than I remember him playing, especially early on. But like, and I think I'm like 5 episodes in at this point. But like, I'm still waiting for that big move. Let me see here. Natalie was robbed. Fun fact, I saw Officer Sarah Lucina on a recent true crime show. My jaw was on the floor. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean, it proves the point that she was actually a cop. I mean, are cops the best suited for this game? I mean, you can make an argument for Sarah and Tony being two of the best players I ever play. Maybe that's a hot take, but I mean, cops, one of those things up there with customer service or nurses or what have you, that absolutely you have to deal with the general public to a different extent, but you do. What if Jeff didn't destroy Survivor with all his dumb twists? The thing is that they fully leaned into it at this point, right? They're fully leaned into the show's gimmicks are what's going to make better reality TV, which we all obviously disagree with. I'd rather more back to basics. And I feel like this season has been more back to basics, not completely. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. Survivor 49, though, has been better with less gimmicky things. Yes, we still had them have the stupid ball and chain thing and all that. By the way, what was with on Survivor 49, where the one tribe they had to do the ball and chain to go find the key? Did we even see a ball of chain with the red tribe with Rizzo's people where they had an actual ball and chain? Because I didn't see that. All I saw was him have a key. Like, why is there no continuity there? Like, what? Maybe I missed it. Maybe they didn't show it. Also, love that because I was worried that it said like once your tribe loses immunity, the immunity challenge, and then they swap tribes. I was like, is he still going to get the same opportunity? Like, I was worried. I was like, is he just screwed? Did he just lose his vote for finding something? And like, why is it detrimental that because he won his team was so strong and won the challenges? Why is he getting like, why are there repercussions for him winning that now that he's merged tribes, he's still going to get that opportunity? And he thank God that they still allowed them to find the hidden immunity idol. So I was happy about that. You'll bring Keith Soul to me in person for 5K. Done. I will do this no matter what. If I will do it tomorrow. I will find Keith Soul. I will put him in my van. I don't own a van. Just saying. I will contact Keith Soul and we will be there in person for an interview with you, Tommy, live here on stream for 5K. Consider it done. I saw a Rachel interview. She seemed cool with everyone on 27 except for America's favorite player. I haven't watched that interview yet, which I was kind of like, damn you, Rachel. I tried messaging you. You haven't messaged me back about coming on the podcast. I get it. I'm much smaller than RHAP. But I saw that. I was like, damn it. It's like when I saw that the Taryn had the interview, I was like, son of a bitch. And no hate there. I totally understand it. I get it. But I'm like, I'd love to get her here on the live stream with us so we could talk to her live here on stream. But part of me in the inside was like, mother. But it's just funny to me. I was more so like, damn. Alice in Borderlands is one of my favorite shows, but this last season was meh. It was meh. It didn't necessarily feel like it was like we needed it, but I mean, at least it was more content for the show. I apparently the what is not manga, but whatever the Japanese version of like comics or whatever. I'm blanking on what it is. I know I blank all the time. Sorry about that, guys. But apparently the second season was when that story concluded. So everything we saw in season 3 was completely made up by Netflix and the writers there at Netflix. So I didn't think we needed it, but I was glad to have the content. Manga, thank you. The last scene though, where you see all the people from the past, that was great. That was the best part of the whole season, in my opinion. Let's see here. No, it was totally different. I don't. What was the context? I don't know what the context of this was, but yeah. Sorry. oh, you're talking about the them finding the idol. Yeah, it was completely different. So I'm glad I saw that right. So I why was there no similarities there? It's interesting. Check out Keith Soul new song Rain. Ooh, definitely gonna have to check that out for sure. You should write a song about Keith Soul, Tommy. There you go. Look at this. Now I'm giving you content. I was like, why does Rizzo get the easy pass? Thank you, because that's what I was wondering too. I was like, why is it just a key? Why is there no ball and chain? Why is it not more complicated? And also, he's lucky one of those people on his tribe that were on his team didn't use that to go find the idol themselves and then completely screw him. Like, I get it, they're working very closely together, and this is the problem with 3 tribes and these small divisions. But just saying, I would have been more selfish and gone and tried to get the idol for myself. I was like, why does Rizzo get the easy pass? Yeah. Rizzo's key was in a small bamboo container. Plus, he could easily see the chest through the clear water. Not equal at all. Not nearly the same thing. I completely agree with you guys. I was kind of calling BS on that. What's up, Sheila? Hope you're doing well. Not in my van, Jesus body. Obviously, I'm joking. I don't even own the van. Just saying, it'd be funny. Vince also dropped a video, and it was exactly what you expect from him. Oh dear Lord, I gotta check that out. I've got a lot of content to catch up on. What if holding hands actually got picked up? Oh, like a show, like his show. Oh man, I'd be here for it. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'd be here for it if holding hands was like actually a thing. Keith Soul is my favorite Survivor player ever. I'm gonna write fan fiction about him. He needs to be on the challenge. I don't understand your crazy takes about these like obscure Survivor and Big Brother people. It's so wild to me. Like, I feel like Tommy over here is a secret millionaire that just loves obscure Survivor and Big Brother players. That's the only explanation here. Am I wrong? But yeah, no, this is funny. Is there any other what ifs you guys have before we get out of here? I appreciate all of your guys' comments in here. It's been a lot of fun today. Had a lot of fun with this idea of like what if moments in Big Brother history and Survivor history, what have you. As far as like season 49 goes, I'm still not out on it. I still think there's a lot of ability here for the season to be a very good season, but I do worry that we are headed down the path of one-sidedness, where those alliances early on are just always going to be the thing that takes shape. I got so made fun of for tattooing obscure challenge players on me. It's my thing. I'm glad you're in on it with me. Tommy, I feel like you are like the grunge version of me, right? Like you are like super fan that people might not expect to be like a reality TV super fan, but you are like way cooler and hardcore than me. Like I would never get a tattoo of someone on me of a challenge player, or Big Brother player, Survivor player, but we have that same love and passion for reality TV. It's hilarious. No, it's fine. Don't worry. The Snake's still the best player of 49. What if the Snake wouldn't have bit the guy on his foot? Why? God, look at this. Like I blank on everyone's names. Dear God, Survivor 49 cast. Like why is it that like as soon as like names escape me, dear Lord. Oh, Jake the Snake. Obviously, how do I not remember Jake the Snake? But yeah, what if Jake was wearing shoes that day? The shoe bandit was actually wearing shoes. Like, what if what if Jake didn't get bit by the snake? What season would we have right now? Who knows? Who knows? They probably still would have been a disaster tribe, but they still would have gone and switched up and would have had 3 people at the swap opposed to 2. But yeah, it's very, very interesting. Are you team Sage or team Shannon? Oh, it's weird because I'm kind of team neither. I know that that makes me very impartial here, but okay, here's the deal, guys. Shannon annoys me, right? Like the whole yoga, like meditation bullshit. Like that might be your thing, and that's fine. That's fine if your thing. But like if I'm out there starving and stuff, the last thing I want to do is go and do meditation on the island and you know and like be like one with the animals that we eat and all that. Like at the end of the day, it's food. Like they're there. Like I get it. I respect animals, all that stuff, but like I don't need to do all that. Sorry. But like I would obviously temper those emotions because I don't want to be the one outlier saying that I don't like it. But I like how Sage is doing it, right? Like I like how Sage is like listening and then telling us how she feels about the whole situation. While Sage, on the other hand, I just can't get behind the whole blackheads in a jar. It just gives me such an ick. Oh, there's so many things that she does to give me such an ick that like that's like one of my big icks, right? Like just why? And then like I was listening to RJP and like his interview, and they were talking about how they want to see the jar and like she should sell the jar. And I'm like, that's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my life. First off, I don't ever want to see that jar. 2, if she sells that, that is the ultimate creep. And there's people out there. I mean, people sell farts in a freaking can. So I'm saying there's someone out there for everyone, right? There's someone out there that would gladly buy this jar, but I don't want to see it. And then they questioned, is it like a small like condiments jar or is it like a mason jar? Like in my head, when I heard it, I instantly thought it's got to be a mason jar, right? Like a mason jar. Like, and how many years have you been doing this? How much have you built up? Do you have other people's in there? Or is it just yours? Or are you going and picking someone else's when you see one? It's gross. It's nasty. I don't need to see it. I don't. Why would you ever share that? That's just like, that's such a lack of social awareness to like share something like that. And that another great point that they brought up on RJP, and I'll give them their kudos here, is like once you reveal that information to other people, you are now put in a box, right? Where yes, that might just be you and that might be your personality, but it puts you in such a box that now it's going to be hard for you ever not to be seen as like that socially awkward person. And that I think affects your ability to win the game. I really do. I really think that. So yeah, I'm probably more team Sage because Shannon's antics kind of rub me the wrong way. And I'm not saying she is, guys, don't get me wrong, but if she is using religion to like be more boisterous about religion to try to get herself further, it's a gameplay. It's fine. It's not something I like based off my beliefs. It's not, I find I'm more of a Christian. I have my personal relationship, but like, I do not like to see a religion play a factor in it. So I hope she's not just using that to her advantage, but it's a game, so you can do whatever you want. But I don't know. There's just things that Shannon does that rubs me the wrong way, where Sage just gives me the ick more than anything. And 1,000% Sage feels like someone that Tommy would be all over. Tommy, I feel like you'd be 100% all over Sage. Darnell Hamilton and Keith Soul, final 2 on Survivor Second Chance. Dear God. Dear God. Could you imagine? I need a Keanu tattoo. Oh my God. I could just see it now. I literally have a vision in my head of like you with the Keanu tattoo. I'll have to tell you later. I'll message you and let you know what I think you should get. We are very alike. I agree. I think we absolutely are. Fun fact, Darnell got ripped and super in shape after Survivor and looks like a different person now. Ooh, I honestly, like Darnell's one I wouldn't be opposed to seeing back. Oh my God, Team Sage because she's less annoying. LOL. Thank you. Same. Like that's a better way of putting it. She's more annoying. Like Shannon's more annoying and her antics just rub me the wrong way. Where Sage is just kind of a weirdo, but at least I can deal with it. I just don't want to see the jar. That's it. Laugh my ass off. Natalie winning would have been even worse than Chris. Less rounds in the game and on an all winner season. That would have been such a disrespect for the game. Thank you. Thank you for agreeing with me, Jared. I appreciate you. Thank you for agreeing me on that one because she went out first and then she came back so far late in the game. Even though Chris went out early, like that was like a representation of the winner season that I would have hated to see that's what caused the winner to win, right? Tony at least was there the whole game. I really want to get behind Sage, but I feel like I know why her childhood friends were ghosting her. Shannon gives me the creeps in a different way. Yes, based. 1000% based answer right there. Like Sage, her social awareness is so lacking, and there's just people like that are just not socially aware. Like, and we saw that in Kelly in Big Brother 27, socially just not aware. But I mean, that's just sometimes that's just how people are. Like you can't change them, but that's what makes them them. And like I see why childhood friends ghosted her too, and I feel for her. I really do. But it's like there's got to be some awareness there on how you're portrayed and how you're portraying towards others. That some people just lack. And at the end of the day, like at least she's authentically her. Shannon just gives me weird vibes. Like it's just like not authentic, right? And that's why I think I'd be more Team Sage. I'm not watching 49 yet. Guaranteed you'll watch 49 and you'll be all about Sage. You need to start watching it too. What do you wait till halfway through the season and then binge? You need to watch it. It's not great so far, but I feel like we're getting there. Yep, the Shannons of the world are the reason I'm agnostic, borderline atheist. I don't like her moves. And that's fine. Like I said, I'm Christian, but you don't have to agree with my religious takes. That's not what we're here for. But like, I feel like even though she's preaching that she's Christian and all that, and that I just, there's an aspect of it where I can't stand the people that are preachy or try to use that in a manipulative fashion. And I'm not the best at, what I do with my, I don't go to church all the time. So half the time I'm watching football more than going to church. I'm not the best Christian, but I know my personal relationship, right? I feel like the game is just keep the game out of religion. I don't know. That's just me personally. But like I said, you don't have to agree with those takes. That's nothing to do with what we're talking about here. I'm just talking about in context to what we saw in Survivor. I couldn't stand 48. I'm waiting for 50. I mean, but like, and I get it. I hated 48 too. It's, in my opinion, it's probably my least favorite season of all time. But like, I feel like you got to give 49 its chance, right? These people didn't control that 48 was so bad, and they can't control that 50 was next. But like, I feel like you got to give them their time. And I mean, I said it before. Jeff said that the end of the season is going to be absolutely awesome, that it picks up really well, and there's some big moves coming, but can't always trust Jeff. I get it, but I'm hopeful this time Jeff is not leading us in the wrong direction. My last take, a Natalie win would need a double asterisk. 1000% agree. 1000%. In Winners at War, 1000%. All right, guys, I think that's going to do it for this podcast. I thank you guys so much for being here. This was a lot of fun. The Survivor What-Ifs, the Big Brother What-Ifs yesterday were great. Or what, Palaver Girl, let me see. You misinterpreted my comment, Bobby. I'm saying same. Shannon is disingenuous, in my opinion. I have nothing against religion. I get that. I get that. I get what you're saying. Maybe I misworded how I was referencing it, but in religion isn't even a part of it. It's about the using religion to be disingenuous is what I have a problem with. Have a good one, y'all. Thank you, Jerry Roy. Appreciate you always being here. You're awesome. Appreciate you. You guys are all great. Thank you so much. Tommy said, I keep commenting something crazy that's getting deleted. Oh, really? I don't see it on my end. So if there is, it's not on my end. Maybe YouTube is doing it. So just let me know on Instagram. Message me what you were trying to say. That was fun. Thank you so much, Kate. Appreciate you guys. Fun fact, programming reminder, just so you guys know, Thursday, I will not be doing my live stream because I'm going to the football game. Obviously, I talked about that on stream. So no show on Thursday. Obviously, no show on Wednesday. Never a show on Wednesday. It's my one day off with my wife. But I will be back Friday, 12 noon Pacific to 2 p.m. Pacific. I think we might do another hot takes episode if I can't get someone like an interview going on. I'm still working on an interview, but if not, let me know what else in the comments below on YouTube. What do you guys want to see? What other topics do you want me to talk about as far as reality television? Is there a show you want me to talk about? Just anything you guys have for me. I appreciate any feedback because I'm trying to come up with ideas for these streams, and you guys are much better at this than I am. So definitely let me know in the comments what you would want to see here on the stream for us as a topic to talk about in the future. And with that being said, like I said, Thursday, no show. Hit that follow button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, give me a like. All it takes is 1 second to just click that like button. And also follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Bobby Goodsby, at Goodsby Bobby on Instagram, Twitter/X. And I will see you guys Friday, 12 noon Pacific to 2 p.m. Pacific, right here at After Show and on Twitch. Appreciate you guys, and we will see you on Friday. Bye, guys. Thank you.